Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting interview by Financial Insight. My name is Mwelwa and I'm your host for this particular conversation that is happening in our very own media lounge at the 2025 edition of the the Energy Forum for Africa. And with me is a special guest and also a proud sponsor of the media lounge, Mr. Andrew Kamanga. Andrew, how are you?
Very well, thank you. It's always nice to be in your presence.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is our second conversation in as many weeks, but I believe the last time we had a chance to engage, we were at your offices talking about, your participation in this year's, EFA event, which has now finally taken off. But, today being day one, you sat through the presidential speech and various speeches that came from, different key stakeholders. Are you able to just give us your quick reactions to, the presidential speech and what are some of the key things that you picked out from, the statements this morning?
Yeah, I think what was key from the presidential speech for me were the aspect of deregulation and how the market has evolved, and of course, the challenges that are still with us. Yes, there's open access. We have seen new power traders coming into the market. Of course, there's a new generation which is coming through, especially on the solar side, having gone through a drought. But also, I think the key takeaway for me from the presidential speech was the importance of Zambia being interconnected to the neighboring countries. And I think as long as we don't have the right interconnection, even the movement and transportation as well as sale of power will become a pipe dream. But also the president touched on the fact that the market should not just be looked at as a Zambian market, but we should take it as a regional market. And there's even an MOU being signed this afternoon by the government with the Botswana government. So these are areas where you can clearly see that we are moving towards achieving that 3 million copper production target, which the president indicated this year we should really achieve 1 million and then prepare for that. But for all that to happen and still achieve a GDP growth of 6% upwards, we need to have the power.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Kamanga, events like this obviously bring together various stakeholders and key players in the energy sector. This is only day one. Are you able to share with us if you've had any interesting conversations? Because, we do understand, obviously, the Northwestern energy business is situated in, the heartland, if I can call it, of copper mining. Are you able to just share with us if you've had any interesting conversations?
Yes, we have. For us, our key stakeholders obviously are the funders. Like we intimated earlier, we are now looking at going into our own solar generation. Initially, we want to produce 20 megawatts and scale it up to 60 megawatts. But for us to be able to do that, we need to obviously raise the funds. We need to be supported by the EPC contractor. We also need the regulation, the licensing, to also come to the table. And I think this is a point which was touched on by the president in his speech, where he indicated that in the past it was it used to take close to 25 months to get your EIA sorted out, but now he's hoping that this should be brought down to as a shorter period as 48 hours. So we hope that with all these areas where government is enabling and supporting the development of new projects, it should be able to happen fairly seamless. And we think that the government has a role to play by making the rules easy. The licensing side should be easy, but also the trading aspect. The PPAs should be fairly easy to deal with. I think the funders are also in part of the stakeholders at this event. I think they are also picking up a few things which are very, very key insofar as funding new expansion, new projects is concerned. So the stakeholders are all in one room, and it's making us quite excited that we should be able to get our projects moving fairly quickly.
Absolutely. Now, you have indicated that, obviously, you are obviously going to be talking to a lot of these key stakeholders about the project that you'll be pursuing. But we also understand that you're going to be on a panel discussion. Are you able to just share with us, some of the key things that you anticipate to be discussing?
Yes, I'm on a panel tomorrow where we will be talking about the financing of the interconnectors and obviously how this becomes very, very key to allow for the seamless trading of power. So it will be a very interesting session, and I think I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Yes, it's easy to generate the power, get it out, but for now the biggest bottleneck, even within the country as well as the region, is the lack of interconnection as well as transmission capacity. So much as we are focusing on generation with IPPs and also getting the consumers to get the power, there's open access, but the real headache still remains that we have no capacity to move the power into a trading outfit.
Absolutely. And, just for our viewers' sake, we do understand that the NWEC business obviously has been specialized in, distribution and transmission. So it does mean that, you've got something to say around, even just the financing of some of those projects, which we would like to imagine can be quite a challenge. Yes,
on the financing side, the biggest issue will always be the bankability of your project, and that bankability is always anchored by a bankable feasibility study or indeed the project itself. So you need to get to a point where the cash flows from the project should be able to show that you generate enough to pay the debt and be able to meet your obligations. But to underwrite the project, I think the tariff cannot be taken out of the equation, and that is always the sticking point. I think now we are seeing slowly a situation where the tariffs are hovering around 13 to 18 cents because it's imported power. But I think for a long time to come, we've obviously had this issue of depressed tariffs. We hope that going forward, the tariffs that we are seeing in the market will hold, and they will obviously make new projects fairly bankable.
Absolutely. No, Mr. Kamanga, thank you so much for sharing those insights with us.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for more insights from Northwestern Energy Company, who will be on a panel discussion on day 2 of the EFA 2025. I've been your host, Mwelwa Kenneth Chibesakunda, and as we always say at Financial Insight, get to know.